So some of you may know this, but some of you might not. For like a good amount of time, I don't know how long, less than a year, but still long, I was doing Muay Thai. And for some portion of it too, like a couple months after I started, Rosie started too. And it's really fun. Like, not only does it make you like feel like you're always kind of like ready to be explosive and like ready to move whenever, like at the drop of a dime. It also makes you more flexible and it builds confidence in the fact in in a way where you feel like you can defend yourself. And it that just kind of makes you more confident when you know like that you're not helpless if something goes wrong in a situation. But it also teaches you that like not to fight because it's kind of when you fight you use like mouth guards and um, gloves, and there's different gloves you use for sparring. You fight in a ring in case you get like sweeped or something like that, or on like pads. So you're fighting, but like, and you're doing it every day, but you're also like taking these like precautions. And even when it's a real fight, you still have like gloves on, mouth guard. You're fighting in a ring, and you realize that like it's you can like die otherwise. Like if you get knocked out and like land on your head on like cement, everyone fights on cement. I always watch like fight videos and people just fight on cement like it's like a field day. Like they just like fight to fight. It's usually for something dumb. And they fight like super hectic too. So it teaches you that like it's usually just not worth it. I saw this guy on Reddit who put like he said like he was gonna teach like he said his teacher was like, I'm gonna show you guys like the number one thing that you can do to like end the fight. And everyone like looked and thought he was gonna show them like some like sensei move. And the dude, he's like ready, and then he just runs out the like outside of the building. Like he just runs away, and everyone was just like confused. But that's really it. It's like you just don't fight like at all costs. But you doing something like fighting um teaches you like that there's other things that it's not worth it, but also if it gets to it that you can defend yourself. So that builds confidence. The only thing is um it's really expensive. Like it's like um only someone with like a solid full-time job or someone who has like a part-time job but doesn't pay rent could could afford it, cuz mine was upwards to like almost being $200 a month, which I'm not saying is overpriced because you have a trainer, you have equipment, you can go as many times as you want, you can be in there for like hours a day, um and learning like high quality stuff from an actual like fighter, like professional fighter. But it is expensive. I'm not saying it's overpriced. It's not. So I ended up having to stop just because it was too much money. Um, and the thing is, it's the type of thing where like if you do have a full time job, you're probably going less times per week just because like the times it was at was like right after people would get out of work for the most part. So it would, which makes sense because you don't want it during the work day, obviously. But it was like some of them were at like 6 p.m. and I wasn't that far from the place. And sometimes I would be like pretty late just because traffic at 6 p.m. So um there was that. But at the end it was kind of just down to like money. And I think Yeah, it was pretty much just that. So I had to stop and cancel the membership, unfortunately. But ever since then, I feel like I've never enjoyed something more when it comes to not like life, but when it comes to like fitness and like exercise. I've never really enjoyed something more because I did soccer and it was fun, but I didn't like it that much. And I also didn't, it was fun, but I didn't like, it wasn't as well rounded as I felt in like Muay Thai because it was fun, but it also built those other things I was speaking on, like making you feel like super active and making you feel like confident. And soccer just didn't do that for me. Then I did track and it felt too like kind of like basic where it was all just running. Um there wasn't really like anything else really applied to it. Obviously there's like you can adjust like your pace and there's like different things people do in order to win a race that isn't just like how fast you are and how much your stamina is, how good your stamina is. There was like a couple other things that were involved, but for the most part I just didn't like that, how it was just like I would go every day and like just run and I was good at it, but I still didn't like it, and that happens sometimes. um then I did weightlifting for like, and I did that for like 4 years, and I was doing it for like lifting heavy, so it wasn't like bodybuilding obviously. It was like just trying to maximize in a way, like your technique in a way where you can just lift heavier. So that could be like arching your back and like it's hard to explain, but arching your back on like bench press and things like that, and doing like low reps but heavy weight and stuff like that. And I did that for a while and I just didn't like it. Like it was a weird thing because I would go in the gym and like lift like more than my body weight in certain things. And then I would leave and just feel like I still felt like lazy as fuck, which I'm pretty like I act in like a lazy way, but like I just felt like I wasn't like if someone was like, "Oh, run over there and get this." I don't want to run. And I would go and run sometimes. Sometimes. But it was like a weird thing where like everything I did in the gym was just in the gym. So it was like someone would be like I would like lift something super heavy in the gym and then I'd go home and like wouldn't want to open like a pickle jar, or I wouldn't want to like do anything. Like I just didn't feel as like explosive as I felt after doing like Muay Thai. And then I think that's it. I think that's most of what I did. But yeah, so then I joined that and I'm telling you, I felt like when I was at work and if I knew I had to like go get something like heavy, like a keg, I would be like, okay, and then I would just like go and do it. Or like when I'm at work now, if I have to like bend over to like get stuff, I'm like, fuck this. But like before, I was like, let's do this. I felt like super like I was just like ready to go, and I felt like light. Everything felt like light and like less stressful. What I'm getting at is that I wish I was still doing it, and for that reason, um, we're getting we're getting pads, and obviously getting pads and training. Well, we're getting pads and training on our own. And obviously that isn't like the same as training with like a professional fighter who can like perfect your form. But to a certain extent we do know what we're aiming for. And we have the references and we know what we need to work on. And that's all we really have. So we're working with what we got, and we have pads like the like regular ones, the kicking ones, the like belly pads to like do like you know, like practicing like certain kicks and things of that nature. And that we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna see if I can do it every day. If it was just up to me, I would do it every day, but I need someone to obviously hold the stuff for me. So yeah, like it might be kind of a challenge to get people that I can hold the pads for who also want to learn stuff and practice stuff, and someone that can hold it for me. And when I said the idea, here's what happens. Everyone's always down. Like they're like, "Oh yeah, that sounds so awesome, blah blah blah." And but then when the day actually comes, no one shows up because it's hard. Like not just Muay Thai, it's just like hard to like get out there and start stuff. So it might be kind of challenging to get stuff going, but I think if I get it to a point where I can almost do like daily, then even the days I do have no one, I'll still probably manage to like find a way to practice and maybe like run and train. And I'm being serious. I'm not just being like, "Oh, I'm going to run and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that." Like I'm actually going to do it. Um I got those comfortable ass running shoes now too. I'm excited to see how those work um when actually running, cuz I have them just for like the comfort right now, like the walking and working with them. But yeah, we're basically, it's also going to be hard in the winter, but we're basically we're I'm only thinking about now, but and I'll worry about that after, I guess, but we're going to go to like a park nearby and just like practice like the basics and the things that we know we can work on, and do some like light sparring and things like that and pad work and stuff like that to kind of not only get in shape but rebuild that confidence and develop some more skills, because we can always look at videos, we can record ourselves and put it on like subreddits and places like that and forums to ask for advice on what to fix and things like that. So, and obviously we have, when we did Muay Thai training, we did a lot of the same stuff every day, and we knew what we were aiming for while doing that stuff. So we can do a lot of the same stuff. Obviously, it's different when you don't have someone there that's professional to do like the minor tweaks and like call you out on stuff, but you still can learn these things. And once again, it's not always ideal, but you work with what you have. So yeah, but that's exciting. Um, that's what we're doing.